Battel, a small town in East Sussex, famous for the date 1066 and the Battle of Hastings. But there's another date in English history which has had a major influence on the town and its residents. This date is November the 5th, 1605. On the 5th of November 1605, Guy Fawkes was caught attempting to blow up the Houses of Parliament. Since then, across the country, bonfires and fireworks have been used to celebrate this discovery. These days, they're mainly small gatherings in a private garden, or perhaps a large firework display put on by a local council. But here in Sussex, and particularly here in Battle, things are taken a little more seriously. We know that here in Battle in 1646, the local parish church gave 2 shillings and 6pence to be spent on bonfire celebrations. Now, I'm sure bonfire was celebrated at some point between 1605 and 1646, but this is the earliest record of some sort of celebration taking place in the town. Just 40 years later, in 1686, 17 shillings and 6pence were given for bonfire celebrations. Now, this was almost 2 weeks' wages for a skilled tradesman, and considering currency was fairly stable back then, this is quite an increase from the 2 and 6 given in 1646. While early records are fairly limited, we do know at least that bonfire has been celebrated in Battle for over 370 years.
I'd say it's the biggest thing in Battle. I'd definitely say it's the #1 thing that most people talk about or look forward to each year.
Town comes alive for one night, doesn't it? There's nothing else like it in the town.
It's just a really big event in the calendar, isn't it, for Battle?
It's the biggest event, and as far as I'm aware, it has always been the biggest event.
It's a very old tradition. It's the biggest event in the town.
Short of Christmas, it's where families get together.
It means a lot to the local community. I think it's a really big, key event.
It's a family tradition right through.
Because everyone sort of comes together, the whole community's together.
I think it's so big in Battle because we're quite a proud little town.
It's just a great atmosphere, and it's all part of Battle scene, isn't it? Always has been, all my life.
Everyone just comes together for that one evening, and people might kill me for this. It's bigger than Christmas. I think it's bigger than Christmas in Battle.
As soon as the daylight starts going, all of a sudden that's all you talk about. Bonfire.
It's the smell of just the atmosphere, isn't it? You get up in the morning and it smells like bonfire.
You just feel it in the air when the autumn starts coming.
It's that bit in August where you see September and you see the early events, bonfire and carnival events.
The second I feel the night's drawing in, the second it starts to get cooler and it gets darker, I'm like, right, when's bonfire?
I was awake very early, waiting for the maroon.
6 o'clock maroon in the morning. Wake the town up to let them know the day.
I heard this morning, it's Battle Bonfire.
There's like a feel in the air the whole day with the smell of the gunpowder and just everything going on.
When you know you've got bonfire that night, that whole getting ready and everything that day, I'm so excited to get to that night.
The whole atmosphere, the whole day, it gets you into it.
The whole thing of getting a costume on and getting it out the attic and smelling it, and you can smell last year's bonfire still on it.
It's such a marvellous event. It's the culmination of all of the year's work fundraising, and it's an opportunity for families to get together from all over the country.
Fireworks, bonfire, procession, torches. What a wonderful night.
Walking down Battle High Street with that torch that first time is something really, it makes you tearful coming down there. You feel proud.
Well, there's a love for it. I think people have got it in their blood. There's people that have been involved with it all their lives.
Bonfire isn't just something that you do, you do live it. can see it in the faces of the people during the day and the evening.
I am extremely proud of Battle Bonfire and very proud to be a member.
Yeah, I do feel proud. I have to admit, I'm going to be really corny and say yes. As I'm walking down the high street, I have got my head held high, got my torch in my hand, and I'm like, yeah, I'm in this procession.
Just something about holding the torch and doing the processions. It's like really proud to be part of.
It's as though the smoke coursed through your veins, and it's a bit like those horror films where you see them taking over and you're transfixed, you get this vapour goes into your mouth and all of a sudden you're a bonfire boy. All of a sudden it's in your blood now, it's like in your DNA.
I came involved with the Bonfire Boys quite an early age. The fire, I mean, is not as big as it used to be, but it's a decent token. Yes, you can get shell shocked if you get too near on the green on the evening.
Despite all of the obstacles that are put up, every year there's another problem to overcome, another hoop to jump through. But, you know, the passion's there, and people persist and they achieve it every year, which is great, you know, great testimony.
We are kind of stewards of this thing that has been going for hundreds of years before us and will still go for hundreds of years.
Putting a tradition on for Battle that's been going on for so many years now, and we're carrying it on, and hopefully our children will carry it on.
I go back to it's a very old traditional Sussex saying, but we won't be druv. And it's a very much, yes, that means, you know, we won't be driven, we won't be always told what to do.
We're going to keep having our bonfire, whether you like it or not.
Effigies of Guy Fawkes being placed on the bonfire are nothing unusual, but here in Battle a variation on that tradition was carried out. Each year during the celebrations, the guy was decapitated and only the body was burnt, leaving the head safely behind to be used the following year. In approximately 1795, a Guy Fawkes head was made from pearwood sourced from the grounds of Battle Abbey. It is this head, which is over 220 years old, that is still used today. In the late 1940s, a full-time body was created for him, and it's this Guy Fawkes effigy that you see each year in the procession. The one that's used on the bonfire and burnt is made separately by local children. During the rest of the year, the oldest guy in the world, as he is known, spends his days comfortably living here in Battle Museum.
You don't get a lot of time nowadays to meet up with everybody because everyone's gone off and had kids and, you know, work and things like that get involved. And then bonfire is the time we all come together.
Everyone's happy, and I think you need that in life. You need just something to get away from your work and just be happy with people. Yes, we can talk to them on Facebook or Zoom or whatever, but it's not the same as actually standing and watching the fireworks together or having a drink together or singing together.
You know, meeting up with people you don't see all year, and it's just such a shame, really.
You see different faces from different societies become friends that you only see one time a year, and that'll be missed. That will be more than missed.
Happy family, and they're there for one thing: to enjoy themselves and have a couple of ales.
I always like the bonfires that you walk past the other societies, because then you get to see all your friends that you haven't seen for a year.
I've got to know other people in other societies. Some I've got to know, and you see them at each event, and you make sure you go and speak to them, and you want to see how their event's going and how their society's going, and to miss that this year is going to be a real shame.
You know, it's one of those sort of events where it's not restricted to any sort of age group or anything. There's people from different backgrounds, different ages, and they're all welcomed, and you know, and just have a super time. And it's going to be a shame that we're not going to get that.
Miss my bonfire friends. We haven't seen people for months. Even the meetings, miss them from that. Yeah, just miss seeing people. Be nice when we can all get together again.
The town will miss it because it's a celebration at the end of the day, and I think it will be noticed that it's going to be a lot quieter.
The main thing that I will miss is not having that bonfire on the green, and carrying the torch down the high street.
We will miss it. Every Saturday night, sitting indoors.
We're not sure what the 2 and 6 given in 1646 was used for, or who it was given to. Was there already a group established to organise the bonfire celebrations? We don't know. What we do know, however, is that in 1834, a gentleman called William Brett was chairman of Battle Bonfire Boyes. Now, what's interesting is that in 1829, he was listed as Master of Ceremonies. Now, was he also chairman at the same time, or was there a chairman preceding him? We're not sure. What we do know is that this puts the Bonfire Society in Battle at least 20 years older than any other bonfire society.
The money that's collected on the night, that all goes to local charities. Big portions to local things that are going on in our town, affecting our community.
Either ones that affected the Bonfire Boys or things like your brownies and your guides and your scouts that could always do with a few more pennies.
We've had a great deal of fun, but we've actually made a lot of money as well for charity.
We try and support as many local charities to the town that we can. That's what we want to try and achieve still.
And that's one of the nicest things about it as well, is that you can dish out a few £1,000s to local people. So it's kind of local people helping themselves in a way, sort of a self-fulfilling circle.
You know, that's a lot of money. And for doing something that we enjoy, that's a win-win.
But of course, all the charities are going to miss out tremendously, aren't they? All over, you know, with no money around. So we just hope for next year things will be better, but they might be, but it don't seem to go away just yet, does it?
I think it is going to be a massive hit to a lot of the charities that we give to.
All the different charities that not only our bonfire, but other bonfire societies give to, it'd be a big loss to them.
If someone wanted to join, really, I'd tell them just to come along to a meeting, just because it's always quite welcoming. As soon as you come to a meeting, everyone sort of will say hello to you and talk to you.
Definitely join. Definitely join. It will be a massive adventure. Massive adventure. I don't regret it in the slightest, and I will probably continue to be a bonfire boy until I don't know when not to, because there's no excuse not to. It's amazing.
Just try it. But that's the easiest thing I could say, you know, just come along, give you time, and then you're going to get so much more back. If you're thinking about it, just get on with it. Join. Yeah, it's a great bunch of people.
Maybe the one might say it's more of a young person's thing, but what the heck? If you like that, if you like a bit of rousing, laughing and everything, and what I think is so nice, the young people don't care what age you are.
I think it's more than just the evening. There's so much more entailed in it. There's lots of events throughout the year, but more than that, you can grow friendship, get to know people in the town, be a part of the local community, and really feel like, I suppose, you're putting back time into the local community.
At the end of the day, if you are a member of Battle Bonfire, you're part of Battle Bonfire's history, and you will always be part of that.
And everyone is really friendly as well. Like it's a nice thing to get involved in, and yeah, become part of something that you do in your town and your community.
Yeah, definitely join. I met my husband at Bonfire 11 years ago, and we're still together, and we've got a 3-year-old.
Join, it's so fun. Yeah, definitely.
It's my favourite membership still.
2 and 6 isn't a story about bonfire night. It's a story of determination, of community spirit, of belonging. It's a story of tradition, of family, of human social contact. We are social creatures, and social distancing goes against everything we naturally want to do. Bonfire night will be back. It means so much to so many. And if you want to be involved, you can be.